Welcome to the June 16th, 2026 Planning Commission hearing. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any media here tonight? Are you media? Are you waving a okay. Announcement for Zoom attendees. Do we have any Zoom attendees? No Zoom attendees? Please remind members of the commission, please speak into your microphone if you talk. May 19th, 2026 regular meeting minute. Has everyone had a chance to read and review the minutes? Do you hear a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes there.
Second. All those in favor?
Oh, that's my job. Commissioner Brock.
Yes.
Commissioner Hogsett.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Mock.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilder.
Yes.
Commissioner Schaub.
Yes.
And Chair Banducci.
Yes.
It's okay.
Quasi judicial hearing file number 26F007, Faber Building. Major modification Fort McKay Planned Unit Development, PUD. Phase 2 secondary access is tentatively approved per file number 21S012. We'll read the following statement. All persons testifying shall be deemed parties to the application, must provide their name, full mailing address if they wish to be notified of the decision, continuances, excuse me, appeals, or other procedural actions required by code. Public testimony should be limited to those criteria and findings of fact or to other city or state land use standards that the person testifying believes apply to the proposed land use action. Anyone wishing to be considered as a party in this matter must raise an issue in person or in writing with significant detail to the city zoning code, providing specific applicable criteria to the relied on in making a decision. Those criteria and findings of fact are in the city staff report, affording the hearing body and parties to the hearing an opportunity to respond to an issue precludes appeal to the city council or land use board, or to seek damages in circuit court due to condition approval. Quasi judicial public hearing, open public hearing, call for declaration of any conflicts of interest, site visits, financial interest, any ex parte contacts, or personal bias in this matter. Ask for any challenges from the planning commission members to impartially be in this matter.
Is there anybody?
Anybody? None.
So there are nobody that has party status, no respondents to the notice or any letters received. So there's nobody with party status. And then I'll enter the staff report, which is the 9 exhibits into the record. We'll look at.
This is the applicant report.
That is all the information, all the staff exhibits. And so the applicant Tabor Building requests a major modification to eliminate the proposed secondary access within phase 2 of the Fort McKay planned unit development per file number 21S012.
The Fort McKay PUD is located adjacent to Fort McKay Road in the city of Sutherland. Proposed phase 2 of Fort McKay PUD is located at 200 Elton Street, adjacent to phase 1, which has been recorded, platted, and partially developed. The property is designated low density residential by the Southern Comprehensive Plan and zoned R1 low density residential by the Southern Development Code. The surrounding properties to the north and west are also zoned R1. Properties to the east and south are zoned residential hillside, with additional adjacent properties located outside the city limits. During the public hearing, the Planning Commission will accept public testimony and make a decision on the application after the hearing. The application is being processed as a type 3 procedure for a major modification to a planned unit development, subject to the applicable criteria of section 2.2, chapter 3, and section 4.7.120 of the development code. As part of the hearing, the Planning Commission will review the applicant's request for compliance with the applicable criteria and render decision on the matter. So some of the findings: the requested application was filed with the city on April 30th, 2026 and deemed complete on May 4th, 2026. Pursuant to section 4.2.140.c of the Development Code, notice of the public hearing was given by the publication in the News Review on May 28th, 2026, which was at least 14 days prior to the date of this public hearing. Notice of a public hearing on the major modification application before the Planning Commission was given in accordance with section 4.2.140.c as a type 3 procedure. Notice was sent to affected property owners of record within 100 feet of the subject property and service providers and governmental agencies on May 22nd, 2026. As I stated, there was no, as the time of this staff report and as of today, there has not been any comments or remonstrance received. So again, the proposed major modification is considered type 3 procedure, subject to the applicable criteria in the development code. An application for approval of a major modification shall be subject to the same review, procedure, and approval criteria applicable to the type of development at issue. However, the review shall be limited in the scope to the modification request. In the matter of this request for a major modification is to eliminate the proposed secondary access to reduce cut-through traffic within the neighborhood as configured in phase 2 of file 21-S012. As noted in the staff report for the file for the PUD, which is the 21 file, access to development will be from Fort McKay Road through the roadway system shown on the preliminary plan. Each proposed lot will have direct access to an internal local residential street. The application only proposes eliminate the secondary access connection to the adjacent property within phase 2. So hopefully you guys read through the rest of the design standards and findings. So I'm going to skip back to the action alternatives. Based on the applicant's findings, the city staff report, and testimony and evidence provided during the public hearing, the Planning Commission can close the public hearing and move to either 1, approve the requested major modification to eliminate the secondary access approved per file number 21-S012 Fort McKay PUD phase 2, as described in the application shown on the applicant's exhibit for the subject property address is 200 Elton Street. This recommendation is based on the staff report findings and or testimony presented during the public hearing, which demonstrates the approval criteria can be met. All other conditions of the tentative PUD approval for file number 21-S012 remain unchanged. Number 2 is approve the requested major modification to eliminate the secondary access per file number 21-S012 as described in the application shown on the applicant's exhibit, with modifications and or conditions of approval based on findings of fact and or testimony brought forward through the public hearing, which recognize the approval criteria can be met at that time. Or 3, continue the public hearing to a specified date and time, or close the public hearing and to leave the record open to a specified date and time for submittal of additional evidence and or rebuttal. Or 4, deny the requested major modification to eliminate the secondary access approved for file number 21-S012 on the subject property based on the findings of fact and or testimony brought forward through the public hearing on the grounds that the proposal does not satisfy the applicable approval criteria. Staff recommendation. City staff recommends that Planning Commission select action alternative number 1 and approve the requested major modification to eliminate the secondary access approved for file number 21S012. Fort McKay PUD Phase 2 as outlined in the application and depicted on the applicant's exhibit on the subject property address of 200 Elkton Street, with all other conditions of the tentative approved PUD for file number 21S012 remain unchanged.
Do we call for the applicant's report?
You want to,
Call for the applicant's report?
certainly, I've.
State your name and address, please.
What's that?
You're sure correct.
Yeah, my name is Ben Tatone, Tabor Building, address 201 Pegasus Lane, Roseburg, Oregon, 97471. The staff has, in my opinion, a much better grasp on the applicable conditions. So if they support it, I agree with them. How about that? You know, really what we're trying to do here is just, we had some wetlands and some Corps of Engineers, things that we were trying to manipulate to make the lots as good as they could be. And then that secondary access at the top, seemed like it was going to be an invitation for the future development to the west to maybe use this subdivision as a shortcut, so to speak, straight down to Fort McKay instead of meandering through their project that you guys have preliminarily approved on the Clark property to the west. And so we're trying to kind of just make this subdivision a little more contained in a way that doesn't make it like, again, an invitation for people to speed through in hopes of being a little quicker path down to Fort McKay. You know, we got, you know, a school bus stop and you know, a kind of a typical balance of demographic of homeowners with young kids and stuff. And so we're just trying to just err on the side of safety and also improve the overall layout in terms of how the subdivision aligns with the wetlands and Corps of Engineer components that we're trying to avoid or preserve, I guess is maybe the right term, within all of the conditions that are mandated from the state that aren't city mandated conditions. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. That's kind of the gist of it.
Any questions? Thank you very much, sir. Now receive testimony from those in favor. Receive testimony from those in opposition. Receive neutral comments. Receive applicant's rebuttal. Continue or close the public hearing. Commission discussion. Go ahead.
So I do have one question about
You do.
the. Residential zoning, so I'm in second L. Have the requirements for transportation and says residential zoning requires maximum of 600 feet length and 1,800 feet perimeter, excuse me. Is that, who determines, who checks that? Yes, my question, say explicitly that was looked at.
The further connectivity, the formation of blocks.
Yes,
So that would be something that we would check with their civil plans that are submitted.
so, okay, so when you say the approval criteria come to Matt, you're saying that's all we look at.
Yeah, because that has to be met in order to have that plat be recorded.
Any other comments, please?
It looked like it met the standard for, like, it's the impact on what the traffic flow is gonna be. And so I just wanted to confirm what I was reading in here, that by removing the secondary access point, the flow of traffic still meets the criteria for the city.
Right, so, phase one is already platted, and phase one, which, already has a connectivity to the adjacent property, along with at Fort McKay has the EMS, access there. So it does meet the city requirements for those accesses.
We talked about water, the one meeting, so ago, there's no question about water or anything like that, so we're.
Right, and this again is just the major modification, and so it's only particular to that access.
Okay.
So everything, you were probably here in 21
Yeah.
is when the original file was approved.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other comments, please? Okay, how about a motion?
I move that we take staff recommendations of approval to approve file number 21 dash F-12.
Did I label that wrong?
Label one.
Yeah, sorry. So it'd be per this file to eliminate this. No, you're right. I think you're right. You're right.
No way.
It just sounded wrong, even though I wrote it. Okay. Motion. Did you read a second? Oh, sorry. I was too busy trying to read. All right. Commissioner Brock.
Yes.
Commissioner Hogsett.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Mock.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilder.
Yes.
Commissioner Shaw.
Yes.
Chair Banducci.
Yes. Monthly activity report, has everyone reviewed the enclosed monthly activity report?
What corner, please?
So there isn't really an update. We just submitted a grant application for that, boat dock. And so we'll be submitting the second of the two applications in July.
Then you're gonna pay that parking area, is that no?
It would be a paid parking area if awarded the grant funds. So we have two grants one that's been submitted and one that we're still applying for, so we won't know if they're awarded till probably in the fall. It wouldn't go to construction until 2027 if awarded.
Okay. And then my next question, Dakota Street,
Signal?
yeah,
So it's still in the works. We're working with ODOT. It has, they are trying to also secure some funds and then we will start the design, the engineering and design of it.
so has the engineers even looked at the design, or is that still out to be awarded?
So to try and save costs and work with ODOT to also expand into 3 lanes, we are, kind of putting our funds together in order to get that engineering done. So we're hoping to start the environmental and the engineering this fall.
So at Dakota Street, you're gonna expand it to 3 lanes, is that what I just heard?
They're hoping to, if we can get some funding, then we would eventually be able to expand from the freeway to Fort McKay, possibly Fort McKay, to 3 lanes, yes.
And then I got another question on Dakota Street. If you drive down Dakota Street, and there's a right turn and a left turn, and there's no straight arrow going up towards the new apartments, and
They're worn out.
no, there's no.
No,
There used to be.
There used to
worn
be.
out, yeah.
I think they get well traveled.
Is that gonna be repainted soon?
I don't know the painting schedule, but we are happy to inquire.
I'll mark it down to ask Aaron.
All right, yeah.
I did talk to Aaron Swan about it quite a few months ago. He's aware of it. so.
Sounds like ODOT's gonna pony up some money for the traffic signal.
Well, at least the engineering. Not necessarily, but, so we have to be careful how we work with it because once you get dollars from ODOT, then it could trigger some of the federal requirements. So with that, we're being careful. But yes, the engineering portion of it, they will be participating in.
What were the other grants that were applied for the Forest Pond project?
The LGGP, the local government grant, and then through OPRD, and then we're also doing the Marine Board. Which is not, it's coming up.
And then on the land use activity.
Mhm.
I have a question under active land use application,
Mhm.
under 26F008.
Mhm.
What is the class A variance for that?
So for this particular one, it was a front setback, a garage entrance front setback. So in our development code in chapter 5, there are 3 different types of variance: class A, class B, class C. Class A is very minimal scale of variances that don't require notification to neighboring properties.
So in other words, it's just set back the garage farther, or closer to the street?
To have it a little bit closer. Yeah, and with a class A variance, you could only move it a very minimal amount.
From that Scardy, is that?
No.
Is how close to Scardy, is
No.
that?
It was not. It was a furthest lot up in phase 1.
Oh,
You're still planning on the Central Avenue crosswalk.
The rapid flashing beacons.
Yeah, you've got the money for that, so we're gonna do that.
So that's another project through ODOT, and so we're hoping to be in construction and starting in spring of 2027.
27.
It keeps,
It kind of keeps, it started in 21.
I was gonna say before Brian retired.
So, yeah. We're still, it's going.
It was a lot.
what was the turtle?
How we roll.
Any more comments, please?
So the wastewater master plan is kicking off, it's now, or looking to be completed by the end of the year.
Mhm.
And then that ties into the interconnection with Umpqua Basin Water Association.
So the one's water, one's wastewater. So the
Oh.
wastewater is just kind of, it's like an amendment to our current wastewater master plan. So it takes into account some of the improvements or DEQ requirements that were not known at the time the wastewater plant was constructed, but then it also works on our collection system. And so right now, starting tonight, actually, they're cammering on South Calapooia, and then they'll be working to the west side of I-5. And so you'll see some night construction that's starting at 8, going till 6 in the morning. And so that'll be part of that project.
Was the applications for the water revolving loan fund, this water fund successful? It said they were awarded April 3rd.
For the
For the
franchise?
water.
So the water, yeah. So right now we're working, we have some agreements with Umpqua Basin Water that we have to get into place. And once we get those agreements into place, we will be able to sign those loan documents in order to proceed with the engineering of that.
How's the workforce housing coming along?
Great.
It's like that turtle.
It's that turtle.
That's that turtle.
Yep, we're still in the testing phases.
Do you know how long the testing phase will be for I assume that's through the DEQ voluntary thing.
It is, so, our environmental consultants are working together to get us through that, and then they're gonna have to kind of do, I'm gonna call it a feasibility study of, their findings in order to know our best route to proceed, so.
Okay, so no like timeline on when they'll be done with the,
Not quite yet, we're not to the, I mean, we could say in 3 months and it'll be 6 or so, we're not quite to the spot, I think we know.
I have no more questions.
Okay.
Everybody a question.
It's all right. Questions are good. Answers are always good. Public comment. Do we have any public comment here tonight? Any commissioner comments? Adjournment? Ice cream. 7:27.
About 7:45.
No, you can't see the clock right, that's all.
Well,
What your golf gave me enough.